Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sarah Lynn Koenig. I work in the Meraki office out of San Francisco, covering our MV product for our channel partners like yourselves. Today, we're going to do part one of our two-part webinar series, Building an MV Practice. We're going to talk a little bit about the physical security landscape currently, what our customers are dealing with, introduce the Meraki MV product, go over at a high level a lot of our features, and of course do a product demo as well. So let's get started. Before we get into it though, I did just kind of want to talk a bit about the physical security opportunity that exists for all of you. It's a pretty big market space. Physical security, which MV is a part of, is a $30 billion market. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, a lot of money to be made. And if you think about an individual opportunity like this, retail, for example, they've got between 2 to 4 cameras, probably 3 to 4 actually more likely, for every AP that they have in store. So you look at what your average retail opportunity may be like, and then you multiply that by 3 or 4. And MV also has a higher value product as well, so you're going to have a much higher average order size on there. So it's definitely worth your time to kind of listen to this, dig in, understand the market a little bit. And then the next week's session, we'll actually be talking about how to sell it, what type of customer to go after. And now I don't want you to start thinking everything in a retail lens. There are very few customer types that I can think of that don't have a need for physical security cameras. Retail is just kind of the one that we think of most frequently as we go into this. So before we go into more of the MV thing, let's just do a little bit of level setting kind of on Meraki. If you've been to any webinar, seen any presentation, you've probably seen this slide before. Meraki we're all about this idea of simplifying IT with cloud management. We're the only provider that has wireless switching security, SD-WAN, communications, EMM, and now physical security cameras as well, all integrated together, software, cloud services. We are a leader in cloud managed networking, as I'm sure you all know by now. So let's take a moment to kind of look at where we started and what the value is and how that value relates to MV as well, and how you can talk to your customers about the overall Meraki value with MV. So if any of you were Meraki partners or familiar with Meraki a few years back, you probably remember us as cloud managed networking. And we started out with products for the edge network, which, as we all know, are wireless switches and security. Now, there are a whole slew of point solutions or other providers that have products in these spaces. For Wi-Fi, you may be familiar with or even have sold or sell today some of them. You've got Aruba, Ruckus, among others. In the switching space, HP, Juniper. And then in security, we've got Fortinet, Palo Alto, and a bunch of other things. Now, if we stop for a second, what do all these solutions kind of have in common? Well, they're all good solutions at doing the one thing that they want to do. If you put in Aruba for Wi-Fi, you're going to have Wi-Fi coverage in your area. Same with the switching side and the security side. What they also have in common is that they're all disparate solutions kind of managed by different platforms. So if you are building on an edge network with these solutions, you're having to learn and manage and take care of 3 completely separate systems, which can get complicated. And those systems don't necessarily talk to each other. If they do, it's complicated to do. They're not integrated. They're not sharing information. They're not that kind of idea of better together. And so what Meraki did is we came out with kind of an integrated all-in-one edge network solution managed by Dashboard with MR MS, and security that enabled our customers to learn one tool to have visibility to all parts of their edge network and really simplify their network with Meraki. Now, in the last couple of years, we've moved from just this cloud-managed network company to a cloud-managed IT company as more and more things are becoming network-based and falling into the realm of management by our IT customers. So we introduced MDM, or EMM, with Systems Manager, collaboration, our phone product, and physical security. And now there are point solutions or individual providers that have that exist for all of these. You've got AirWatch, MOS 360, ITEL, ShoreTel, among others, Access, and Avigilon for cameras. And there are not a lot of customers that exist that don't have all of these types of solutions that they are managing and using. And I dare you to find, some that don't have at least 5 of these solutions. And so if they're all going out to get these solutions from different vendors, they now have 6 different management platforms, 6 different systems to manage, 6 different systems that may or may not talk to each other too well. And it's a big headache. It's a big piece of their time that they're using running around managing these things. And so again, with Meraki, we add in Systems Manager, our MC, our communications line, and now MV. And we've wrapped them all up into a dashboard that our customers know and love, integrated together. They're talking to each other. They're managed from a single pane of glass, which really simplifies and improves the way that our customers can do business, or that you can do business with your customers. So why Meraki? Spoiler alert, you probably already know this. It's dashboard, right? That single pane of glass management tool that you and our customers know and love, right? So today we're going to talk about physical security. So let's kind of look at what we've done in that space with physical security and dashboard. But before we do that, let's look at what our customers are dealing with today for traditional security camera solutions. Now, when you think of a camera, if it's not something that you've sold before, not something that you've been involved in before, you may think it's just a camera. But that's not the case. A camera is only one part of a traditional video surveillance solution. Got your camera, but the camera is basically a sensor that's pulling in all of this information, and they have to store that video, that footage that they're getting, that information that they're getting somewhere. So traditionally, you would have some sort of storage component, an NVR, network video recorder, or a DVR, a digital video recorder, on your system that your cameras are attached to. And now, as you can kind of get from this graphic, we've got 4 cameras on each one, or 4 cameras to each NVR or DVR. It's the same sort of ideas with wireless and controllers. Each NVR or DVR can only be connected to so many cameras, can only hold so much storage or video from those, so it's not an infinitely scalable solution all the time. If you want to add an additional camera, you may have to upgrade or buy a new NVR or DVR. And now you're not just getting a physical security solution or a camera to record and store video. You want to watch it somewhere. You want to see what's happening. And that also requires another piece. So you've got a video management solution that is layered on top of your NVR, DVR, and on top of your cameras. And if you want to do anything with that footage, any analytics, any other sort of next level of that information, you're going to have to layer analytics software on top of your VMS system. And now, unless your customer is very, very small, limited to, few cameras, you're not going to find one vendor that provides a solution for all of these. So you're having to go to 3 or 4 different vendors to get your camera, your storage, your VMS, your analytics software, and then spend time making sure that they all work together upgrading, one and making sure that that still works with the rest of your system, patching them. It's not an easy thing, and it could very easily be someone's full-time job to wrangle um, video surveillance, especially if you've got multiple sites where you're doing this multiple times, or a lot of cameras at one location. And now the last piece that I want to talk about kind of in a traditional system is, well, what if something happens? What if you have to go back and find footage of an incident? What does that look like? Now, it can happen in a variety of different ways, but you've ever watched Law and Order, CSI, or any of those kind of crime cop shows, you've probably seen the detective sitting in some room somewhere, maybe after going to the location where the crime was committed and getting physical tapes of footage and things like that. And that's not too far from the truth. So usually, if there is an incident that you have to get footage from, there's going to be some sort of media involved in exporting and sharing footage in very old systems, which there are still a lot in place today. It may be a tape. It may be some sort of DVD or CD drive. It may be a USB stick where you're having to physically go there, pull it off, do that sort of thing. And it's not easy. We've got one customer that purchased MV to replace a system that had been upgraded, within the last couple of years, that told us it was so hard to get video off the system that they ended up, once they found the footage that they were looking for, recording it with their smartphone cameras from the screen to send off to someone. So it's a really, these kinds of things are happening. It's not easy to use. They're not super user friendly. And so obviously it was the perfect place for Meraki to come in and turn this industry upside down. So let's look at MV for Meraki Vision, cloud managed security cameras. And now you can see that the graphic didn't change, although the top says now Meraki Vision on here. So kind of what we did with the traditional video surveillance systems with Meraki. Well, first thing we did is got rid of the need for media for recording, exporting, sharing footage. That's all done from dashboard. Analytics software, done on the camera and in dashboard, so no need for anything else. Video management system, nope. You can watch video right in dashboard, create video walls. We'll show you that in just a second. Storage, it's actually on the camera, so no need for an NVR or a DVR. And with Meraki, you're left with a camera. And that camera plugs in to the network and connects to dashboard, to the cloud. You can see videos stored on the camera. Camera is managed by dashboard. If you want to watch video locally, we can connect right to the camera. If you have a local IP connection, go into dashboard. It'll connect directly to the camera to view video. If you are remote, it'll connect to the camera through the cloud, through dashboard. So you don't need a lot of different pieces to do it. You don't need to manage all these different pieces and parts and systems. Just the camera connected to the network and dashboard. So the MV product philosophy, kind of the idea by which we built this product and the idea by which we build most of our products, is this idea of solving problems and not building features. And so we could have just built a camera that had the same features as competitor cameras in the existing space, but we really wanted to do something different, to look at what customer problems what problems our customers, were dealing with in the traditional landscape, and build a product that solved those problems, regardless of what features it took. And that's kind of what we did. And we were able to use our expertise in cloud, distributed computational systems, and UX design, and bring that to video surveillance. So let's look at what we did there, the products that we have, and go into some of these problem-solving features that we have as well. So Meraki MV, we've got two models, an indoor and an outdoor. MV21 is our indoor model, MV71 is our outdoor model. They both have a 3-year hardware replacement warranty on them, which is different than the majority of our products, which have a lifetime warranty on them, but far longer than what you'll traditionally see in the physical security space, because we do believe in our hardware and our cameras. Both models have IR illumination in them, so you can use them in dimly lit or dark spaces. They both have 128 gigabytes solid state storage on the device itself, so the footage for each camera is stored on the camera itself. We record in 720 HD. And the outdoor version, the MV71, is IP66 and IK10 rated, which means it's highly vandal resistant, as well as resistant to inclement weather, cold weather, dirt, water, those types of things. And we have a few different mounting kits available for them as well to meet a variety of different customer use cases. Now, before we go into some of the features of MV, I want to just spend one more second kind of talking about the development principles. And these are the things that our product and engineering team keep in mind when we look at what do we want to do with this camera. And we're always going to be trying to accomplish 3 different goals. The first one is cost reduction through architectural simplification. And so a good example of that that we've done is the elimination of the need for NVRs and DVRs and VMSs and analytic software and kind of all these other things that go in traditional camera system. We've got rid of that. You need the camera and network connectivity. The second one is this idea of operational simplification through automation. And an example of what we've done there is kind of, we've got a couple actually. So the motion search, which I'll show you, kind of just making it easier day to day to find what you need. But also our ability to do remote viewing through dashboard with just a browser. Whereas with other systems, if you want to remotely view, you have to set up kind of custom complex VPNs, do some custom network integration or network configuration on that end. And we've just kind of done it by default for our customers really, really easily, but also very securely. The third thing that we want to look at is adding additional business value through intelligence. And this is what we've done with our analytics. And I'll show you an example of what we've done with the analytics. It's our motion heat mapping, but giving customers more information without them having to do anything else, add anything else, really adds business value to them and is a big differentiation between us and our competitors, and can be a very good differentiation for you as you go talk to your customers about the Meraki MV solution. So one of the most exciting features that our customers love, and I love to demo on MV, is this idea of retroactive video search. We call it motion search. And what we've done is make it really, really easy for you to be like, well, something happened kind of in this area around this time. I'm not really sure exactly what I'm looking for. But you can go in, select a spot, select an approximate time, and quickly find segments of video that MV has already analyzed and detected there was motion on in that spot during that time. We'll show you this in the demo, but it's much simpler to do, to find what you're looking for quickly and easily, rather than scrolling through multiple hours of video. Even at 8x, that still takes massive amounts of time to do. And then once you've found what you're looking for, making it very easy to export and share video clips. Once you've found your segment, you can export it right from dashboard, get a shareable and downloadable link that you can send to the police, to loss prevention, to whoever needs to see that video. The second one that's kind of differentiates us from our competitors is what we've done with video retention. And now the 128 gigabytes of storage on there we'll record at standard definition 20 days of continuous footage, but most customers don't have a need for continuous footage and aren't using that right now necessarily. And we allow them to extend out what they're recording or what their recording time using schedules. So if you want to say, hey, I only want to record during business hours or after school hours or during 8 to 5, whatever it is, or I only want to view live video, I don't want to record, scheduling allows them to do that. And the second thing is motion-based retention. So motion-based retention differs from motion-based recording that traditional systems offer. We will always have 72 hours of continuous footage. And then after that, after we've recorded that 3-day buffer, we will go through and intelligently trim footage that contains no motion. And we're able to give customers a real-time estimate for what we can retain on that camera based on the average hours of motion that we know that that camera sees. I'll show you that in dashboard in a little bit too. But the cool thing about this is it differs than motion-based recording, which traditional systems offer, because it eliminates kind of the risk involved in that. We had a customer whose sprinkler system went off somehow reason, and it didn't trigger the water droplets, and what happened didn't actually trigger the camera to start recording. So they had no idea what had happened up to and before that footage, before that incident. With Meraki, they would always have those previous 3 days where they could go back and look at all the footage to see if where the issue happened, what happened up to that time where the sprinkler system went off. Now, kind of the last piece that I want to talk about, I believe, is the built-in analytics, and that's MV as a sensor. And this is kind of the next-gen use of the camera. You can see we've got a little heat map on the side, and you can see, hey, between 11 to 12, not a lot of people on our terrace. Between 12 to 1, everyone was outside. This was lunchtime, so kind of a spoiler alert. But it gives customers the ability to optimize their business practices, streamline objectives, potentially enhance public safety. If, hey, there's more people out there between 12 and 1, maybe we want to have more, more security out there. Or if there's not a lot of people, but still a few, maybe we want to have, someone making rounds to make sure that nothing is happening during the times that there are not a lot of people out there. So it gives them an easy way, an easy automatic way to uncover and kind of identify patterns and trends that are happening, with the ability to do either hourly or weekly or daily, levels of granularity on the camera. So kind of the last piece, this isn't a feature, but a concern that a lot of our customers have that we want to talk about before we go into the demo is this idea of encryption by default. So a security camera has a lot of information on it, has access to a lot of information, or the video surveillance solution has access to a lot of information on there. And keeping that video, keeping that camera, the feed secure is a lot of work, and not all of our competitors do that very well. Well, with Meraki, security is kind of at the heart of what we do. And so we enabled encryption by default. It's automatic. You can't turn it off. And the video on the camera is encrypted at rest. It's encrypted during transport, and the management data as well that exists on the camera or in dashboard is encrypted. And as you all know, probably by now, access to dashboard can be secured as well. Things like two-factor auth, limiting the IP addresses by which individuals can log in, things like that. So you don't have to worry about security for your security cameras with Meraki MV. So I'm going to pause for just a second and then go over to the demo and kind of show you what this interface looks like, what some of the features we talked about look like before we go into the next piece. So just a second while I switch over. All right, we are back, and I just realized I did not share the right application, so just a second. There we go. Okay, so hopefully now y'all can see my dashboard. I am in our Meraki San Francisco office, which I'm sure if you've ever been on a Meraki demo or seen a webinar, you've seen before. But I'm actually in our camera section of it. As you can see here, we've got it built in with the rest of our Meraki stack, so your customers can do that, or they can have it as a separate network if they want to. The main page here is our list of cameras that we have in the Meraki office. And just like with the rest of the Meraki stack, we use green, red, gray, yellow, those colors to kind of give you a quick idea about, hey, is everything good or is there an issue? Right now, all of our cameras are online and have been online in the last however long period of time that is, so there's no worries about it. If there was, we could see offline, we could see red spots, we could see when there were issues, and that's very, very valuable. The one thing I just want to point out before we move on to this, because we're talking about connectivity, is this idea of alerts. We can set up alerts on these cameras to be notified if they go offline for more than a certain period of time, and automatically email you as their IT management or the customer to let them know there is an issue. Too often in traditional systems, there's no visibility to this. There's no visibility to, hey, everything is going well, and shoot, there's a problem. We've heard plenty of stories from unfortunate customers who did not know that a camera had an issue or was offline until they went back to try to retrieve footage of an incident, and by that it's too late. So this dashboard, the visibility alerting, is definitely offers real value to customers that they may not have today. So let's go into some of these cameras. I'm going to go search kind of into our bike room because that's kind of the most exciting thing. So I typed in bike and it pulled up all of our cameras actually tagged with bike or have bike in the name of them. So it's really, really easy to find exactly what you're looking for, just like with the rest of the Meraki stack. And I can go into any of these cameras now. Say I want to go into the bike room outdoor camera. It's going to pull up feed of the outside of our bike room. And I want to point out a couple things on here. So first of all, you notice how quick and easy that was to pull up the footage, very, very fast. But also, we've got this little cloud icon right here. So this means that I do not have a direct connection to the camera, direct IP connection to the camera. So it's actually proxying this footage through the cloud dashboard. And so even though I'm pulling this through the cloud, it was super fast, super simple. I didn't have to configure anything. That's the idea of this simplicity or operational simplicity through automation. Dashboard has automatically figured out that, hey, I'm a valid user of this. I don't have a direct connection to it, and I'm going to pull up this secure cloud proxy stream to the camera from here without me having to do anything, you having to do anything for your customer. Super simple. So you can see someone's coming into the bike room right now. This is live video, but what if I wanted to find out maybe what happened yesterday afternoon? Maybe somebody came in, took a bike, or there was an incident, something like that. Well, I can go in here, click the motion search button, and now we've got a grid overlaid on our camera view. And I can say, hey, the door's over here. I want to look at motion that happened in this area, and not right now, but I want to look at motion that happened in this area, gosh, 2 days ago at 5. Actually, let's go in the morning at 9 a.m. So I can use natural language, type in whatever I want, a week ago Monday, yesterday evening, and it went 2 days ago at 9 a.m. Now if I scroll down here, I can see motion events that happened within that time frame that I'm seeing right here. So it makes it very easy to find exactly what I might be looking for, gives you the duration of it, the frame, so how much of this actual frame it took up, and region of interest. So I can see here we've got some that take up almost all of the region of interest. These are probably some things I'm looking for, and then go in and click into them. So I click into this one, and I can see the person coming in there. I can click into another one, It'll pull up, again, the motion that happened there, pull up that information. I can see what's happening really quickly and easily. Okay, so that looks like maybe the person that I'm looking for. And I can scroll through the cameras, interior and exterior entrance, and see these people actually coming in from the other side. So maybe I want to pause it at this point. I can get a screenshot. I can export video from here. So it makes it easy to sync up your cameras, find events from anywhere without knowing exactly what it is you may be looking for. So say this is the video that I want to export. These are the two people that came in that, caused a problem, whatever it is with somebody else in there. I can click export, select the start time frame from this camera, export it, and it'll give me a shareable link that I can then send to the police, security, maybe their managers, whomever it is, that they can retrieve easily from the cloud. So that took a matter of seconds to find exactly what I was looking for, even if I didn't know exactly when or where to look for it. And that's so much easier than with traditional systems, searching through hours of footage, trying to figure out how to export it, share it, maybe sending a physical tape off or having someone deliver a tape to somebody else. Now, the next thing that I want to show you kind of on here is the analytics piece. So let's go back to that outdoor camera on here and go into analytics. So analytics is that kind of business value through intelligence that we're offering with MV. And you can see here, it's pulling up a heat map, and now this is going through today between 9 and 5, so that's why we don't have a lot of information yet at 11 because it hasn't started. But I can go back in time and say, hey, I want to look at Wednesday. And I want to look at Wednesday between 6, when the largest group of our people start coming in, and 5 p.m. And now I can see motion and activity between these time frames in 1 hour increments, and I can see, hey, not a lot of people are biking in at 6 a.m. More of them start to come in at 7 to 8. And between 8 and 9, we've got a fair distribution between people walking into the entrance over here and biking into the bike room over here. And then now between 11 and, say, 3, not a lot of people come in and out of the bike room, and then they'll start to trickle out, between 3 and 4. And 4 and 5 p.m. So this is an automatic thing that's done on MV. You don't have to add any other software. You don't have to do any configurations. We do it simply, easily for all your cameras. And I can even do it, in day increments too, if I want to look at, hey, what does it look like throughout the week? Obviously, not a lot of people on Saturday and Sunday. More people, Monday through Friday during the work week. This opens up a whole bunch of interesting use cases. If you've ever seen a presentation by our product manager, George Bentink, he's probably talked about the sheep farm in Australia, I believe it is, where they have MV cameras set up in their pastures to watch or look at the migratory patterns or the grazing patterns of sheep in the field. This wouldn't be possible with traditional video systems because they require too much infrastructure. These cameras are set up, they're mounted, they're using cellular connectivity to connect to dashboard, and live footage is never being viewed. They're just looking at these snapshots as far as heat maps for where they're moving, where the sheep are going to throughout the day, throughout the week. Super, super simple kind of things where a customer is adding a lot of value to their business using Meraki MV, not just as physical security. Now the last piece kind of on here, and I know I didn't do it in the same order as we talked about in the slides, but it's that quality and retention, that motion-based retention. So just to give you a quick idea of what this looks like, we have this set up for every camera. I go to quality and retention. I can say, hey, I always want to record it, or I want to schedule the recording. So maybe it's only 9 to 5, only on weekends, whatever it is. And I can say, hey, I want standard or enhanced footage, but this still will only get you, so far. If I want to turn on motion-based retention, I can turn that on, and all of a sudden, I can see that, hey, I'm going to get 74 days of estimated retention on this camera because this camera sees an average of 7 hours of video per day. So I can greatly extend the footage that I have on here, the motion footage that I have on here, really simply and easily, and give a very accurate estimate as far as what this specific camera is going to see with motion-based retention. Now, if you click over here, you can get an idea as far as what most Meraki cameras will have for retention. So you can see 95% of cameras will be able to record 30 days at least. 74% of Meraki cameras can record 74 based on the activity that they see. And 61 will actually be able to record at least 90 days of video with motion-based retention enabled. So it gives you a good idea as far as normal use cases, what your customer can actually expect. And if you've got your customer set up on a trial, and it'd be physically where it's going to be, will give you a pretty accurate estimate for that actual camera, how much motion is detected and how much video they'll be able to store on their Meraki camera. So we're going to pause for just a second and get back to the demo. So just a second where I switch this up. This should go better than the last time because I'm sharing both. Perfect. So just to kind of wrap up at the end here, the Meraki security cameras, we have two models, indoor and outdoor. The outdoor one is vandal resistant, weather and inclement climate resistant. But they are designed to be super simple to deploy and manage. And I know we say that about all of our products, but it is very much the case with Meraki MV, and it offers huge value to our customers as compared to solutions that are currently available out there. It's all managed through the Meraki dashboard. Everything is stored on the camera itself, so there's no need to have additional storage solutions, DVRs, server space for it, which can take up a lot of time and money to set up. And the camera has built-in analytics, motion indexing, all of those things are kind of built in directly to the camera, which allows us to do it quickly and easily and at scale. So that kind of wraps up where we are. We're at the top of the hour for today. As far as next steps, definitely talk to your customers about MV. Check out our website and our blog. We have a lot of information up there. On there, it's where we kind of keep up to date with new products and new features that are coming out. And definitely engage with your Meraki rep if you have questions, your customer needs a trial, you want demos. Don't forget about kind of other resources like the partner portal, things like that. And of course, part 2 of this webinar, where we're going to go into talking about what does the MV customer look like? What types of opportunities are out there for you? What type of questions should we ask to uncover them? As well as common objections that you might see when talking to your customers about Meraki MV. So I hope you found this useful. Definitely reach out and let us know. We'd love to hear feedback from you. And we look forward to seeing you at our next webinar. Thanks.